Hi everybody, so today we're going to look at incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance is very similar to that of diagonal crosses, except with, I suppose, one important difference. So look, two questions we're going to do are going to be 2011 question 13, and we're going to look at 2016 question 4. Okay, and specifically going to be looking at incomplete dominance today. So let's look at, we'll go straight down to part I there rather than reading all of that. It just says, what is the significance of the fact that the two allele pairs are located on different chromosome pairs? Well, if they're located on different chromosome pairs, it means they are not linked. And if they are not linked, it means that there will be more variation in the offspring. And that's it. Okay, just say more variation for the offspring. That's all you have to do. Okay, so look, we have that one answered there. Let's get on to the actual question though. So we're given there a plant with pink flowers, heterozygous in respect to stem length and so forth. Okay, um, that's grand. But first, like we always do, we always have to do our key. And again, I can't stress the importance of this key because it will make or break your genetic process. So we'll go to the start there and we'll look at what we're dealing with. And there is no dominance between allele for red flower and allele for white flower. And heterozygous individuals have pink flowers. Okay. So in that case, there we're going to leave our two capital R's here being red because that's what we're dealing with. It's always the same, really, isn't it? It's always snapdragons and roan cattle. So that means our heterozygous condition is not going to be red, it's actually going to be pink. And if our two small R's are going to be white. Okay, so that's one half of it done. And we also have, we're looking at it there, we also have the tall stem is dominant for the allele for short stem. So there's no incomplete dominance here. So this is where it kind of catches students. They think there's like a medium version here where actually there isn't. Capital T, small t, heterozygous is going to be tall. And therefore two small t's equals short. So look, that's our key there. And let me see there. Now we'll continue on with the actual question. We'll find out what the genotypes of the parents are. So a plant which has pink flowers. Okay, so let's write that down. Pink. Well, we only have one option there for pink, and that's going to be our capital R, lowercase r, heterozygous. And was heterozygous in respect to stem length as well. So we go over here to our stem length, and we can see there's only one option you can have that class, and that's a capital T, lowercase t. So that's one parent's genotype done there. Okay, let's look at the next parent. We're crossing it. We're reading it there. It's like it's crossed with one that had white flowers and a short stem. So if it's white flowers, there has to be two small R's, and a short stem has to be homozygous recessive there as well. Okay, so we have that done. Our next step, and it's always the next step, guys, is to find out what the gametes are. So we put in our gametes. Now, we have something here that's double heterozygous, and if that's the case, we always have four options, and this will be no different. We do a capital R here, capital T. We put a circle around it. We do a capital R here, and a lowercase t. We circle around it, exactly like we did in the last video. A lowercase R here, capital T, and a lowercase r and a lowercase t. And if we look at this side, no matter what combination you do, you're always 100% going to get a lowercase r and a lowercase t. So again, it doesn't matter whether you write that out 4 times or just the once, the probability would be the same. So we're asked this to figure out the genotypes of all the possible offspring. Okay, so let's do that. So we have to do our genetic cross. And remember, it is the gametes that go into the cross. Okay, so if we're dealing with our cross, which is here, and we'll go back to this. Again, it doesn't matter which gametes you put on the x-axis and which gametes you put on the y-axis. It's up to yourself. So look, I'm just going to do this gametes over here, and we have our capital R here, capital T going down. We have a capital R, lowercase t going down. Now, we have our four options there. So look, just different colour there, just to make things a little bit easier to read. We have a capital R here, lowercase r, capital T, lowercase t. This one over here, we have heterozygous for the OR conditions for colour, and we have homozygous recessive. Now, always double check it, just to be sure, It's very easy to make a mistake in one of these genotypes. And I think we're okay. Yeah, we are. So look, we have the first part of the question done there, okay? The question reads there, for using suitable conditions, find the symbols, determine the genotypes of all possible offspring. Okay, look, so we have that part done. Great. We're on to the next part now, which is state the phenotypes. Okay, so look, for stating for the phenotypes there, it's the exact same business again, okay? We go down here and we look at our key. So we have a capital R and a lowercase r, heterozygous, so it has to be pink. So we're writing pink. And in this case here, it's going to be tall. Over here, pink. And short. Over here we have our, let me see, we have white. And tall. And over here we have white. And short. Again, you just keep going back to this key over here and figuring out what you have over here. Okay, so again, the key really does help. So look, these are our phenotypes here. Okay, and it's very clear which one I'm pointing to my phenotypes to, and the genotypes. Because if it's not obvious, then you'll have to redo it. Otherwise, you will lose marks. So we go back up to the question there. We'll just double check now. Have we got everything answered? And we can see that for parts 1 and 2 there that we do. So that is 2011, question 13 done. No more to it. You can kind of see from the genetic cross that there's no more red anymore in it. Red is gone. And that the ratio between them is, because there's 4 options, it's 1:1:1:1. Okay, let's have a look at next one. The next one very similar again. Except this time it was as a short question, so it was 2016, so a little bit more recent, I suppose. And you're asked to figure out the percentages, as you can see here, of what you have there. Now, even though it's a short question, you would have had to use some sheet of paper for this, because really it's too difficult to do otherwise. It really is, you couldn't. So look, we're going to do out our key now, okay? Same business again, guys. So our key here. Now, as soon as I see roan cattle, okay, same for those snapdragons, okay, I'm thinking incomplete dominance. And it's no different in this case here. Okay. So, in a certain breed of cattle, there is incomplete dominance between the allele for red coat and the allele for white coat. And the resulting heterozygous ones are going to be roan. And in each of the following 3 crosses, state the space beside the percentage chance that a calf cross will have a red coat. So, let's have a look at it. Where our key there is going to be, and we can make it up our letters yourselves if you want, you don't have to. I'm just going to do 2 capital R's here, equals red, capital R, small lowercase r equals our roan, and finally 2 lowercase r's equals white. Okay, so that's our key here. It's a monohybrid cross. We're not dealing with any other factors bar the colour of the cattle, the coat of the cattle. So let's look at part I there. We're told in this that we have roan versus white there. So if it's roan, it has to be capital R, lowercase r times white, which is our 2 lowercase r's. Well, exact same business again. Write out those gametes, and I might actually just push these a little bit more across over here. So we write out the gametes, and I'm just going to do it out the long way just so that we can see where everything is coming from. But if you're in an exam and you want to speed things up a bit, by all means, you can be skipping this writing here. So look, we only have two possible gametes that we can get from this guy over here. That's going to be a capital R here. Or it could be a lowercase r. And then over this option over here, we have a lowercase r. Okay. Now we do our cross. Do our x there, and do a lowercase r over here, uppercase here, one down, and over here. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have a capital R here, and a lowercase r, and we have two lowercase r's. Okay, so if we're looking at it, we can see that this guy over here can be white, and that this guy over here is going to be a roan color. Okay, now the question reads there, percentage of chaff will have a red coat. So you can see there's no options here for a red coat at all. So in this case here, it's going to be 0%. Okay, now next one we're looking at for part II, okay, is roan times red. Okay, so look, we'll just go down here. And same business again, okay, write out the roan and the red for the parents. So roan, capital R, lowercase r, times the red, which is 2 uppercase r's, homozygous dominant. Write out your gametes. Okay, step 2. And finally, we'll do our cross there. Ooh, there we go. So we have two uppercase R's here, one uppercase R, one lowercase r. So if we're looking at it, we'll go back to our key. This guy over here has to be red, and this guy over here has to be roan. So there's a 1 in 2 chance of you having or the cattle having a red color. So that's our 50% mark here. And finally, we're dealing with roan versus roan. Okay, so look, we'll just do it out again here. Part 3. And if it's roan versus roan, that means it's going to be heterozygous by heterozygous. Okay, write out the gametes. So we have a few more options in this one than we did in the last one. Okay, but the method of carrying this out is the exact same, hasn't changed. So we do our cross now. Okay, so we'll do capital R here. And we do a lowercase r here. And then over here we have capital R. And we have a lowercase r. Great. Okay, so if we're doing out our options there, we'll have two uppercase r's. We'll have an uppercase r, a lowercase r, so heterozygous. We have uppercase r there, lowercase r here. And we have our two lowercase r's there. Okay, so we have, if we're looking at it there, we have a few options. Okay, we have, I'm just going to highlight it there now to make things a little bit easier. This guy over here is going to be our red. Great. Okay, so we have our red there, and if we're looking at the rest of the options there, okay, we're dealing with over here to be roan, and over here to be white. So there is a 1 in 4 chance of the offspring, in this case here, having a red color. So a 1 in 4 chance, meaning then 25%. So we go back up here, and the chances of us having a red coat is 25%. And that's it. Let me see if anything else to add about this. The only thing else I have to say about this, to be honest, is that higher level students actually found this tricky, even though it was just a monohybrid cross. But sometimes we're so used to doing the dihybrid crosses, the more complicated ones, that when we come across one, I suppose, a little bit easier ones, that we tend to overcomplicate them. So just be careful with that. And again, if you just follow it out the same way, we go to key goes first, parents for the genotypes, right out there gametes, due up there cross. Okay, and you're unlikely to go wrong then. Okay guys, look, that's it for incomplete dominance. I'll be going over sex linkage and linkage soon enough. Okay, bye everybody.